G'day guys. I've made about, I don't know, this is probably the third video of the third part of the coil. Um, First of all, I lost bits. They just disappeared off the bench. Then I forgot to put the grounding wire on. So I had to pull it out and rejoin it and redo it. So I'm going to have to, this is going to go up as a bit of a dog's breakfast because I've done various parts and I've stopped the video out of pure frustration, but then I've realized I have done a whole heap of processes. So you'll understand. You'll see the first one and you'll go, huh? You'll see the second one, you'll go, huh? And you'll see this third one, you'll go, oh, that's what happened. And in the middle of all that, I forgot to put the phone on airplane mode, and I kept getting what do you call it, messenger um, things come through. So anyway, this I'll show you this, how I've got the cores in there. I've got the cable on. I've done it all. It saw a bit of shiny stuff. There's just a bit of hot melt glue residue. That's all right. So basically, I've got some sticky foam in here, a couple of layers, filling up the cavity. A bit of hot melt glue. You don't have to fill it all the way up. You're going to put tape over here. You're going to make it all grounded. You're going to ground that over there, poke it through, and then dab it with conductive stuff. Put a tape over it. I did want to put some of that really thin polyethylene type foam. I think I'm going to use this stuff. It's a fiberglass bandage, but it's tacky, and I can put it on, and I can probably dab it with a bit of carbon as well, but I don't know if I need to. It'll probably stay there. It's all going to be locked in. I'm just going to do it so it doesn't rub on the bottom. So everything will be explained if you watch video, part 3, part 1. Yeah, or is it 1.1? No, sorry, it's 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3, because it was just um, a, a comedy of errors and disasters, and you'll understand. Anyway, that's where we are with this. OMG. So I've got the cores in there. You can go back to the previous videos. I'm going to put them all up. I'm not going to stitch them together and clean them up. I'm not going to bother doing that. They can just go up as a dog's breakfast, because I just can't put the time in doing that. But this is a coil I want to experiment in. What I've done, where the cable comes in here, I put hot melt glue, squashed it down, held it till it's set, and that's got that cable. It can't move. I've got to put masking tape over that, and masking tape's the best stuff to use. I've got it all fairly flat. It's all covered. Uh, the sides are done properly. It's not continuity. It's half and then a complete, well, half that way. See, that's not even connected. I just put a bit of extra shielding. It's shielded under it anyway. So you can have a look at the other videos, how that's done. That's not missing paint there. That's just silvered. That's all nice and solid because the paint is dried. It's looking good. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to put this wire through. And I'm going to try and remember. I'll see if I can spot the hole. I'll hold it up to the light. Oh, okay. There. That's not far enough. Let me have a look at this. I'd say we really want to go across and see if I can work out where this was joined. That's black there. It went. Look, I think there's a. Is that a hole? I probably blocked the hole up. That's what I've done. Oh no, there it is there. Okay, so what we do, we go over this way. Okay, there is a hole here. It'll do. And through it goes. There we go. It's got a bit of glue on that, but it's no big deal. There we go. We hold the wire like that, and just for the hell of it, that's actually very long, isn't it? No, I don't care. No big deal. As long as it joins here, that's where the hole is. We could do an excursion and get more coverage. It doesn't need it. It really doesn't. I've done this many times before, and I don't know why that just ended up so long. It doesn't need to be. How about we just go there and cut it? We'll try to cut it. Just wire. Oh, helps if it was in the blade. So that will go like so. That will go like that. What we want to do now is we want to glue that wire down just by putting blobs of. I had some. Let's hope it. I wonder if it's still okay, or has it gone off? No, you can't leave this stuff out. It just goes hard. So it's done its thing and died. I think. I don't want to stick my finger in there. Get a cotton bud. I'll just test it, and if so, no, it's hard as a rock. Damn, it's gone off, but that's okay. What we'll do. And this stuff has, because I had it on the lid, of course, it is bitten on so hard. So this is what I normally do. You go around like that, not too hard, just enough to break the seal a bit. Because it is a paint as, there we go. See, saved. Right, but I'll put it back on and I'll shake the hell out of it. Okay. There it is. I will use a paintbrush on this too, because I do have to paint over the masking tape I put on. So there's that. But what you can do, I'll get a, I hate having it sit there like that, because if it falls over, it's all over Red Rover. I was dabbing on the wire. And I'll put a fair whack on it. You want to make sure that it's absolutely blobbed, like it's done with Aquadag, which is the stuff they put on TV sets, but this is different. So bear with me while I do this. And to actually make this easy, I can just put down some masking tape on that. Hold the bottle even when grabbing the masking tape, because you don't want it to go over. So what I'll do, roughly, it's not critical. Get your masking tape like so. Make sure you got no funny things stuck underneath it, off your fingers or whatever like that. And line it up right in the middle, more or less. About there. And push it on in the middle. And then work it on the outsides. Something like that. Okay. Then get right in and push down hard. Then I find my long lost paintbrush and I will brush that. Now, I saved the paintbrush. Sometimes if you forget, the paint will go hard, you'll never get it off, you throw it in the bin. So wash it in water, trip over everything. Here we go. Squeeze in. Oh dear me. Okay. It's stuck down. I've got to actually put some masking tape over that as well. Actually, the whole thing. Do the whole lot in one hit. Like so. I'll put that in there. I'll just do it out the lid. It's got enough on there. And if I started fresh with a new piece of foam, everything, I could make a really nice, neat coil, but you don't need to worry about it. You know, even where this wire is here, you don't really need to paint this over, but I'm doing it anyway. Probably make it look better. But it doesn't serve any purpose painting this. That it does, not this. And what you want to do on this one as well, it's no good if it's floating there, it's got black paint on it. You've got to dab it, like I'm doing here, so it actually connects. You don't have to do it both sides, you can just do it one side. It's going to have continuity across it anyway. So it's still going to act as Faraday's shield. There. You blob it like that, even not critical. Just there, just where it comes out. I'm not going across and touching this black bit here. It just miss it. It doesn't make any difference. You miss it by a millimeter or 5 millimeters or whatever, you know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, as long as it doesn't short. You don't want that part shorting around the outside. Anyway, that's that. That should dry very, very quickly, hopefully. And if it doesn't, I'll end up with black paint all over myself. So that's that. I was going to cut some of that bandage and stick it on, but this is where I've done one side. I have to flip it and do the other, but what's going to happen, it's because I've blobbed, it's going to take ages to dry. So uh, yeah, that's just the way it is. So, yeah, I can't really do much. Put some hot air on it. That's just silvering I'm going over. Not that it doesn't do anything, it's just because it's rubbed up on metal or something and given the silver look. Anyway, that's our coil. Having second thoughts, where have I painted? You know, I don't want black fingers again. So this is the coil. All I've got to do is bed that wire down, put masking tape over it, and we are in business. That will be a working coil, just goes back in the shell, and we can go detecting with it. So if I had something I could actually put it on that would, you know, hold it around the edge, then I could just mask that up and do it and finish it off. But I can't. I have to wait for it to dry. So you get the gist of it anyway. You can see the way I've done all this. What I might do here is carefully put my fingers on it like that, not near where I've done, like so. and this is pulling on it down, which is making it awkward. But this wire here, you can just, oops, it's going to have a natural bend to it now. But what I have done in the past, I put little slivers of masking tape across it and left open bits, and then I've just blobbed where it's hard down, because it's hard to hold. And if you put a bit of masking tape there, you can then paint that, and then put a bit of masking tape down, paint the next bit. When it dries, you take the masking tape off and you paint the rest of it, then you put another piece of masking tape over the whole lot, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But you can't, how can you paint that if it's sticking up in the air? It is difficult. There is other ways to do it. You can bend a little bit of a 90-degree bend in it and stick it in the foam to hold that other end down. But then you got to keep it tight when you do that. You need two hands. I've got one hand stuck. I can't even peel the tape, so put over here, and definitely can't do it there one-handed. It's impossible. So what I could do, I'm just trying to think of how I can do this, because I don't want to make another fourth video. Hang on a sec. See, this is dangerous. I've got that thing there opened, which I don't like. Now, okay, here's our old carbony rub-off plate. How about I just do that? There we go. As long as it doesn't pull too hard, it won't fall off. It wants to. So what I usually do, I get little bits of tape here. I'll show you what I do. I get little bits of tape like this, and if it doesn't stick too far on my finger, I just look at it. I go, down you go. Another little bit of tape like this, and I'll look at it and I'll go, down you go. Okay, so that's on there. Maybe that needs a little bit of a sharper bend. I can get around that. That's all right. I'll just push it down a bit harder there. It'll be fine. And just do that, and then it'll get you a start on putting, if the wire's got too much kinks and bends in it, you can get it on by doing this. And even if you tacked it here, there, no, it's flat at the end. If you actually did that, you could just leave it. It's going to stay there. Just put a tape. Don't worry about taking these off. Just tape over it. You can do that. So what I'll do, I'll get some of this in here, and I'll just blob it on there. Look, just one piece has to touch. You could cut it there if you wanted to, but this just gives it a better overall chance of staying connected. It's not going to come off if you blob it, because this stuff, once it dries, it is dynamite. It just won't come off. So, like so. Yeah, get a bit thin on the paint here. Whew, nearly sneezed. That would have required an edit. Okay, I'm going to put the 4 eyes down and have a good squeeze to make sure I've got it all nice. I'm happy with that. That's really good, actually. That's going to stick down nicely. And the only thing we're going to do now is put a bit of masking tape over this. That's the end of it. That part of it. So I'll get this tape, roughly measure it. I'm not even cutting it. I'm just tearing it. It's not critical. So there, and make sure I'm in the middle. Yeah, somewhere there. Okay, that's that. We put it on hard. You could, if you wanted to, start filling this up with some polyethylene insulation stuff. If you want to cut strips of this stuff and poke it in there, and make it all nice and flat here. But once this dries, it pulls tight, and there's nothing going to push it in like that. It's not going to sound off. It's impossible. you know, I can easily rest my finger there. It's not going down, so gives you an idea. And we'll get this, and we'll get some of this paint, and I'll just quickly, before this stuff goes completely hard in the lid, because there wasn't much in there, I'll do that. And you've got to remember this one too, you've got to blob it down. If you want to get really pedantic, you can get thin wire, less than 0.12 millimeters, tin plated, and you can put it across and then dab it on. But making little mountains, hang on a sec, I'll get some more paint in this because it is getting a little bit scant. Scant, if anyone doesn't know, means scarce. Okay. Yeah, I've got to clean the threads up on this because it is getting a bit tacky. That's a good word to use. So we just do this. Remember, all you do is any connections you make or any wires have to be, basically you got to think that you got to shield them from, just pretend you got to shield them from the light, and you got to put this block out paint on so they can't see. You could look at it that way. So not that I need to do it there, but I'm going to anyway, just make it all black. There you go. Now the trick will be here is I'll get the old 4 eyes on again, and I'll just blob it. So it's a layer of paint from the top of this to the foam. So it actually all connects. Which it does, of course, because I've done it many, many times. I did check the Q of this coil before I put the lead on too, by the way. And it was it's up about 5.6, which is really high. Just make sure. I mean, this is total overkill. But we just shield everything. Like even around the edges here, where I've done the bottom, I can redo a few blobs around, even though I've checked if the multimeter is connected. And it was actually isolated from the top to the bottom, but now it's connected because the wire's in there. But you know, that's how it worked. You can just put a few dabs around, just a little bit. That'll make it better. Won't make any difference. But now I've got paint in the lid, so I want to use it. That's my excuse. There you go. So, in all reality, that is ready to roll. Once it dries, it'll work fine. Be a really good call. I want to see how quiet it is and how much difference there is with those devices stuck in there. Those little powdered iron cores. Now, the reason I don't call them ferrites is, first of all, they are not ferrites. Powdered iron is not ferrite. Okay, it's not exotic at all, such as ferrite materials. And also the reason is why is there was either an attempt to or a patent on putting ferrites in coils, but they never said powdered iron. Okay, so that's why I went the other way. Like I said, I've always been doing it for years. I've been using powdered iron or carbonyl iron, hydrogen reduced iron, doing this. And I've never seen a patent specifically say iron cores. Okay, It says the other. It says ferrite. I actually had that double checked. I've double checked it myself anyway. I know what I'm on about there. But the thing is, our patent attorney, who we've used, is a physicist, and he's got a lot of qualifications. Thus, he said, iron powder is not a ferrite. So he said, why don't you patent it? I said, no. Oh, no reason to. There we go. So that's all down. I just put a bit of, maybe I'll put a bit of masking tape over that line there. I should do. Just hold it down. As long as it's got a bit of touch on it, it's fine. Something like that. Like I say, this stuff's not critical. Yeah, you can put 100 sheets of masking tape on this side. It's not going to do anything. It's inert. It's going to pretend it's not there. But if I do blacken it with the old brush, it will just be part of the Faraday shield. Not that it's not going to make any difference anyway. It's not going to really do anything. I mean, I'm shielding the wire, the Faraday shield connection wire with paint. Big deal. What's that going to do? Nothing. But yeah, you can just do that and leave it there. I've run out of paint anyway, so you know, neither here, neither there. Don't need to really do anything with that. They can just stay there like that. Push it down. I'm just pushing it down so it dries and stays there. So moisture can get through masking tape, so it will air dry. It'll be fine. That's basically it. I just got to remember to wash my brush. That'll be the end of that. And safely, we got the lid back on that stuff. Yeah, never trust it. Don't trust it. If it goes over, oh, it'll be horrible. But that's that. If I could actually, I could actually connect it up. I'll tell you what. Even while it's drying and it won't be perfect, I'll connect it up. I'll just loosely put it in here. And when I say loosely, because I really want to put some of that bandage on top, but I want the paint to dry first, and then it'll save it from the sharp points. Remember, I pointed this out. I don't know if you can see in there. These sharp things here, they will cut in. So we don't want that. That's why I wanted to run that very thin polyethylene foam. I could put some of that double-sided foamy tape on it. I could do a lot of things. But there we go. Hang on, I'm going to get this on the right angle. Right, this is where it sits there like so. I was going to pull this down and hopefully it follows. I'll get it back and forth a bit. Oh, there we go. Please, wants to sit up, of course, doesn't it? I'll stop that. There we go. I'll make a pancake out of him. There. And wouldn't it be funny if it wouldn't go back together? It's got bits of stuff stuck on it. But hang on a second. It will go back together. It's got to pull this straight. There we go. You got to pull it till it goes all the way back. There you go. That's how it's going to end up. And then we just seal it in here. Get a cotton bud and just run acetone around here, or drip in acetone. Don't let it run everywhere. It'll wreck the damn thing. But you can use a glue and you can use acetone. So even where we cut it on this edge, you spin it around and it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. You want to see if any of the shape where you've gone, well, first of all, when you went in with a knife and went around, if anything matches. And if it matches, it makes a much better bond. But we've got that there, and I'll just fire it up. I've got this Oh God, why don't this thing here is so tight. I'm talking about the little thing that goes on top of the thing. I think I'm really going to have to spray it with some silicone spray. So I'll be there forever trying to turn it. Okay, hang on a sec. We'll get a detector. I'll get a battery sitting there and we'll fire this thing up and we'll just see how it works. I've got an iPad battery there in a box. I don't want to fire it up with that sitting there. That's my Project 5000 sitting up there, which I'm busting to finish, and I haven't. On the top here, I've got a pair of pliers, another roll of solder that can disappear, and I've got a detector down here. I'll see what it is. So first of all, we'll get this mono. We'll stick it up here. That's what I'm saying. This thing, it's tight, but anyway, I'll do that later because I've got to actually just pad out. Oh, okay. My original 4500 that was gifted to me a long, long time ago. Okay. In it goes there. I'll just get rid of this glue gun because it overheats and gets damn hot, so get rid of that. I've got a battery here with an amplifier on it connected to a speaker. Now you got to remember, this is a mono coil. It's going to go crazy noisy. Well, we'll see. We'll see what it does. Might help if I actually turn the amplifier on. Okay. Hang on a sec. Amplifier on. That's on there. That's on there. Speaker. Why have I got no noise? It's coming on. Unless this amplifier has been left on, it's got a dead battery. Just don't know. Oh, what a tangle of wires and stuff here. It's got batteries in it. Sit there, go there. Please turn on. No, it's in mono. Not turning on. No sound. Won't be the coil, because otherwise it'd be coming out of coil over current and stuff like that. So it's not that. Oh dear, oh dear. Hang on a sec. I'll grab a detector that has come in and hang on a sec. This has got customers' names on it, so I'm going to flip it over the back. Okay, this is a GPX 4000. Okay, where's the wire? This will be interesting. See what happens. Let's keep eye on the time as well. In and power up. No, nothing's powering up. It's on. There's no audio. I would say that the batteries have been left on and it's gone dead flat. Okay, we'll still use a customer's detector because it's there. What's this one here? I've got another one of these. Another amplifier. Light lights up. Good. This is one that is in the throes of being built. So I'll stick that in there. In you go. And we'll put this in here. Use these damn high quality connectors. You know, so they're positive locks. You can't have the wire fall out. So we'll see how that goes anyway on this one. Helps if I plug it in. Stay there. Get over there. Away. On. Please work. There we go. Flat batteries. Dead batteries. Okay, well, the coil's working. It might actually make a lot of noise because the paint's still drying, but we'll see what we're in. Okay, it's in mono. I put in fixed. It's in deep. I put it in sensitive just for the fun of it. And I'll try it on a 0.1. Coil's working. Now, like I say, coil's working. And now we'll see, let's go. It's picking up everything, of course. Round we go. Shielded nicely. If it wasn't big batteries going flat for the driving the detector now. But if we have a look at that, doesn't sound off. Good, it's going to be a good coil. So there you go, guys. I finally got it done, and we just need sticking it back together. And yeah, very noisy, and I don't know where this 4000 set up. Oh, that's right. It's got the push button. That should not be a push button. You know the story about those. But that's the story of the rebuild of this mono. And with the rebuild of that, you can pull, even if you want to, you could pull the wire off and everything and rewind it and do different configurations. There's a ton of different configurations you can do on these for winding the wire. If you really want to make it into a flat wound winding, you can do that, but that's not my favorite configuration of winding because it's trying to stretch reality, trying to make the thing sensitive to small but keep it going on big, and it doesn't. It doesn't do sensitive very well on small, and it doesn't do big very well on deep. But use the right size coil for your right size targets. That's my advice or opinion. So yeah, I'll just yeah, I've got 15 minutes before I go do a run, and that's all right. God, what a absolute hash of video. I have to clean this bench. It just looks ridiculous. It's just too much stuff on it. And the way to clean the bench here is God, most of the stuff you'd throw it in the bin. It's like nowhere to put it. There's no flat surfaces in here. I mean, there is, but they're no longer flat because it's just everything is on everything. I could do with another 3 times the shelving in here, and I'd still be going, where do I put that? There's just stuff everywhere. You know, I was going to actually deck out the garage. I've got a garage. You can put 6 cars in there, and I'm going to just go and plaster it all out, make it nice, and make it into a huge, big laboratory workshop, everything, and have this as a chill room or something. But yeah, David's car's in there now. I got to tell you, I keep saying this. Anybody who wants a really good Land Rover Discovery 3, which has been completely cleaned up and everything is like good on it. It's even got like the new air pumps. It's got new valve blocks for the suspension because it did have David thought it had a problem with the suspension because it dropped down at the front, and we replaced the valve block and it made no difference. So it's got a brand new valve block in the front. Then he did the valve block at the back, thinking it might have been somehow leaking. No, I don't know. I don't know who's thinking what. But he replaced that, made no difference. And then I got in there and replaced the compressor and put a new one in there, and that fixed the problem. So now it's all stays up and goes down. But if you want to talk to David, because he's selling it, and it'd be a great car to go prospecting in, because we have many a time. And yeah, it's sitting in my garage. I don't want it there. I want it gone. Okay. Anyway, enough waffle. Catches.